Can I record now?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a machine. It's called an Alpha Stim.
Okay.
It's used in humans. It's a human machine, and it's used in people with chronic pain. And it's just a microcurrent that goes through the brain, and it just helps them settle a little bit, because pain can actually like rewire our brain. And when we got senior dogs or senior individuals, we know that they've got like a whole lifetime of pain. And so this machine just kind of helps reset some of those things. So my hope is that at home you guys notice a little bit of maybe a change in the tremors, or like all the little pain signs and symptoms that you see. Hopefully you can see a benefit in the next couple of days.
We also did laser light therapy.
Yeah, we'll do that today too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have that at home.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if it's like pet grade.
Oh, that's okay. It was a human one. It'll work on dogs.
We've been doing it on his joints.
Awesome. I love it. What is the name of the one that you have?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's some Chinese brand.
Is it? That's okay. Yeah.
It's from Amazon.
Yeah. How much was it? Was it like a couple hundred?
I think $150.
Yeah, that's great. So it's probably like a red light therapy?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll definitely do, so we have a class 3B laser, which is ones that like healthcare professionals can buy. It's like really expensive, right? They're like $25,000. But we'll do that on some of the priority points today, and then I'll get you to carry that through with the red light. For sure. Dude, you're losing some muscle mass in your spine. So I'm just feeling the muscles right beside the spine. And from his x-rays, we can tell where, okay, there's some areas where it's really not great. And the transition right here where his rib cage ends, which is a transition zone in his vertebrae, is really sore. And whenever I press it, I get that little jump. So I'm just trying to make the muscles feel a little bit better there. Oh, are you shaking it off?
Did I clip in his ear?
Yeah, I'll let you stay on your clip duty, because he might shake it off a couple times. So one of our favorite things to do with dogs with spondylosis is there isn't very good blood flow to the spine. Humans have that as well, right? Like my muscles, it's filled with blood, but my joints and my vertebrae don't have as good a blood flow, which makes it harder for them to heal. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up his skin on top of his spine, and then you're gonna roll it down while I keep his skin up. So we call it skin rolling. And that, the moment I pick up the skin, it separates from the vertebrae, or from the fascial layers underneath, and that gets blood flow there.
Oh, I forgot to mention, we also do the subcutaneous fluid.
Oh, good. Yeah, for his kidney stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
100 milliliters.
You just put it right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, just to keep him hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you just kind of go up and down, picking his skin all the way up. Because how's his appetite?
Because it's kidney food, he doesn't eat it.
It's not that great.
Yeah.
Not that tasty.
He's very picky, so we've been giving him beef now.
Yeah.
Beef and rice, and he's been gobbling that up.
Oh, that's awesome. Who doesn't like a little bit of rice and beef? I'm just gonna feel your ribs. Oh, I know, dude. Hey. Good job. So I'm just gonna have a little feel of his bum and his hind legs. Yeah, he's losing some muscle mass, hey?
Yeah. He used to be
like
quite
his little bum muscles barely there, his glutes. How's your quads? Well, your quads aren't bad. 'Cause how many steps would you say he takes a day? Like if you were to wear a step calculator.
Because I make him walk
Yes.
with me,
Yes.
I want to say probably 200.
Awesome. Okay.
We do laps in the hallways.
Yes. Yeah, and you do the pool, the hydrotherapy.
Probably even more than 200 then.
Good, yeah. Because that's, I mean, as you know, physios, we love movement. We definitely don't want to lay around, because that's when we kind of like waste away. Not to say that you like want to take them to do 10,000 steps. But the key with senior dogs is low intensity, high frequency. So like you said, like do 50 steps and then let them take a break. And then do 50 more. I know this is sore. This is sore.
It's okay, Pepper.
I'm just massaging his hip flexor muscles, which change the position he sits in all the time. These muscles are really shortened. You're doing good, bud.
About a month ago, he wasn't even able to sit down like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's actually better.
I'm not sure if he's better or
Yeah.
he's just
Adapting.
or just feeling defeated, like giving up.
Yeah. I know, dude. Okay. Can I feel your tail? Oh, you got a little tail. It's tiny. There. So, definitely another one that we'll write down for you is tail pulls. Yeah, make sure that is. So I basically grab the base of his tail, like I get as close as I can to his bum.
Yes.
And then I traction it. So I actually pull it straight out to the point where he gives me that little acknowledgement. And then I just hold that.
Okay.
Because with spondylosis, we're getting a decreased amount of space for the spinal cord. And the beautiful thing about dogs is the tail is actually just a continuation of their vertebrae and the spinal cord. Humans don't have this. So by tractioning the tail, and I'll show you on your arm how much I was pulling, we actually can get really good benefit into his low back. And get more activity down to his, he's really active. He might even, does he ever poop when you do stuff with his bum?
No. He's already went potty.
Did he? Yeah.
Earlier, so he shouldn't.
Oh, it's no big deal if he does. But it's good, like, you see how active his tail is right now?
Yes.
That's his brain and his spinal cord going all the way to the bum. Right? When we have spondylosis, sometimes the connection doesn't go all the way.
Okay.
But this is really good. So sometimes we'll even just do little tickles on the tip of the tail because there's lots of little nerves there.
Oh, okay.
And it can help him walk.
It's okay, Pepper.
You're doing so good, Pep. Good job, dude. Okay, you're feisty. Let's take a little break. And then we'll do some laser. Let's see him walk towards you. I mean, this is a hard surface because it's... There.
No. No. Good boy.
There.
Good boy, Pepper. Good boy.
Good job. Yeah, so he's totally capable of walking, hey?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
With some guidance, but right after hydro, he seems to walk better.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would continue to do hydro. It's awesome that you have the ability to do it daily. You'll see lots of benefits.
Actually, he's walking better now
I
than
know.
he was before we came here.
It's just because we fired up his neurological system with the tail.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is the tail like the key kind of?
Yeah, it is. So that'll be something easy peasy for you to do. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper to write our exercises down.
Thank you.
Give me one sec.
Oh, Pepper, good boy. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, good job, dude. Do we have a little pee with the paper towel?
Just in case. I was
Yeah,
gonna
in case we
catch
get a
it,
little
yeah.
dribble. Hi, do you like physio? Oh, you want to come back? Okay. Do you mind grabbing me that blue box? That's the laser. Sorry, I didn't think he was gonna get that comfortable that fast. Here we go. Let's pop on. He's gonna feel so good after this. There.
Good boy, Pepper.
Sorry, can I bother you? Do you mind passing me the liquid? Thank you. It's so hard when they sit in your lap, but it's very nice at the same time. Just need a little bit more liquid on this.
So how long have you been in this industry?
So I graduated from physio school in 2014.
Oh, okay.
So however long that is now, 5 years. I adore it, and my favorite thing in the whole wide world is senior dogs. Like we run senior pet classes, senior dog classes. They're so special,
I
right?
wish I'd known about this.
I know, now you do though. Yeah, like it's so crazy. You've had him for 17 years. My border collie lived to 17 as
Whoa,
well.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But if you can just like keep their quality of life good, they just keep going. The hardest part will be, like you said, it'll be the medical stuff, right? That really is hard for you guys to manage, like the kidney stuff. I know. Here we go.
It's okay, Pepper.
So I grabbed this quality of life scale. So it's called the scale, which is a very funny name. But basically it's all the categories of what makes up our day-to-day quality of life. So hurt, what's like our pain level, hunger, hydration, hygiene, happiness, mobility, and then more good days than bad. So what we recommend is you take it and you give it a score out of 0 to 10, right? So if you're like, you know what? He's drinking, great. Like I have no concerns, and it gets a 10. Or like, I have to force him to eat. It's like a 5. So like maybe you and your husband each do it separately and then total them up, and then the goal is that it stays above 35. It's not ideal scale for everyone. Sometimes like the dog can be doing all of this really, really, really good, but then their mobility sucks. They can't get up, right? So you're like, well, everything else is good. So then that tells us, okay, we need to focus our effort and our energy and that to that category to see if we can improve that number on that category. And then I have some people that don't like the scale at all because to them it's not an objective decision, it's a subjective. So it's no big deal. Like if you hate the scale, throw it away. But for some people it really helps make it, you know, like more of a clear thing. And I always tell people when I give this to them, it has nothing to do, like there's no pressure where I'm like, yeah, you need to do this because you need to euthanize. Nothing to do with that. We fully support people in trying to make the dog's quality of life for as long as possible, as good as possible. And you're on the right track with all the things that you're doing. Me? Oh, good man. So in the night, he's kind of like spinning around. Like, is he in the bed with you guys?
He's in the bed, yeah. I have to position it in certain ways for him to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So I check every now and then by lifting his back a bit to see if he's squirming.
Right. Yeah.
If he is, then that means I have to reposition him.
Do you mind pressing the green button 3 times? Yeah, perfect. No, there we go. You're just in my lap, Pepper. I can't do anything. But he's such a good patient. He just literally came in here and let me do all this. Some dogs I have to chase around the room. Here you go. I know. Hi. Hi. Hi.
It's okay, Papa.
Has he ever had like ear infections?
Nope.
Perfect.
Right now, the only issue is an ulcer on his eye because he had a corneal scratch on it.
Oh no! How'd that happen?
He's blind in his left eye,
so he runs into things.
Yeah, he must have hit one of those pull-out corner.
Oh yeah. Oh man, dude. So is he on medication for that too?
Yeah, he's just topical eye drops.
Okay.
Antibiotics and anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how many times a week do you guys have to go to the vet?
Oh my god.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I feel like her schedule revolves around Pepper. It's okay. She wouldn't have it any other way.
It's okay. It's okay. Good boy, Pepper.
He's doing so good.
Thank you. You must make him feel so comfortable.
Yeah, he's really relaxed because like when he came in, he was doing quite a bit of trembling.
Because at the vet, he goes crazy.
I mean, he's probably had quite a few vet visits that are not ideal, right? Here they end up finding out that physio is just to make me feel better. There's no like, you know, poking and prodding or thermometers up the butt, x-rays, stuff like that, hey? The really good thing is his chest x-rays that they got on that when they were doing his spine. They didn't make any comments on his lungs, right?
On his lungs, no.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, the only organs really is the kidney,
right?
And
it's just enlarged
liver. No, just something we thought there was cancer in the liver.
Right. Yeah.
About 4 years ago, so we did an MRI.
Wow.
I think one of the cheaper ones, the MRI.
The CT.
Okay, that one.
Scan.
$500 or something.
Yes. Yeah.
So that one proved that there was no mass.
Yeah.
But he's always had a liver issue.
Right.
When he was younger.
Yeah.
So it's just getting worse as he's aging.
Yeah.
It's okay, Pepper.
And have you ever done any, you know, like the traditional Chinese herbs or anything for his liver?
No. The only that's right. We're on milk thistle for dogs.
Yes, yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, awesome. That's one of the best known herbs for liver. Where do you get that from?
My husband bought it from Amazon. It's
awesome.
Vet grade or something like that. Pet grade, sorry.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. How long has he been on that?
Past 3 weeks.
Yay.
Kind of on and off.
So that same thing as the CBD, it will take a while to build, because it's a natural herb, to build up in his system, but that's great. Any dogs, like horses or dogs that I've known that have liver trouble, milk thistle was amazing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Do you sell milk thistle here?
No, we don't. No, yeah. But I do, I really like it. So as long as, he did his research with that. You never know on Amazon, right? There's one company that's out of BC that I really like that I can send to you. But, obviously finish this first and see if you notice a benefit. I'm sure it'll be good.
It's okay, Pepper.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to laser your whole spine? Oh, no. I'm going to get you feeling so good. So, say you guys are hanging out in the kitchen during the middle of the day. Okay. Is he feisty, he wants to walk around, or is he very content laying around?
So, before it got to this point, he'd walk around the kitchen a lot, looking at what I'm cooking. Now, he kind of just stands, kind of wants to walk around, goes to the fridge, looks at it.
But you have to get him up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then he stands.
And I can tell he's starting to get tired, so he kind of half squats and stands.
Which is very fatiguing. It's really funny, but a half squat is so hard to hold.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, but dogs will do that sometimes when they don't quite sit down. It's very strange because it's difficult.
It looked like he wanted to sit,
really
but it was
uncomfortable.
Painful.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just lay him in his bedding and just put it next to the stove with me. Well, not too close. But so he can watch me.
So you guys don't burn down the house. But yeah, he still loves to interact with his environment, right? Yeah. That's good signs.
He definitely does want to keep walking around.
Yeah, good. So we want him to walk around as much as he can with the best quality. I don't want him to walk so he gets so tired he falls over. I'd way rather he walks and then we do a good sit rather than the half squat sit.
Is sitting bad for the dogs?
No, where his spondylosis is or where the changes are in his spine on the x-ray, it's not ideal because I'm sure you've noticed over time he's gotten really round right here.
Oh, like that curve?
Really roachy?
Yeah.
Was he not like that when he was younger?
No, straight.
Yeah. So that type of sit isn't ideal for that part of the vertebrae, but because that change is already there in the bones, it's going to be very difficult to fix.
Okay.
What we can do is when he walks, we can try and make him more flat. But as soon as he sits, by default, that's a area of his spine that's lost integrity. He's going to roach there.
Typically, he has a good stand.
Yeah, he does have a really good stand.
Before the therapy, coming in, but he does have a good stand, but it's when he starts to walk
that it gets all wobbly.
Yeah, and I seen him dragging one of his paws, the front one.
Yeah.
And that would cause
Was it the right front? Remember?
Can't remember because I'm mixing it up with my other dog.
Oh yeah. Just when I went to flex his right front, it was much harder to flex it than the left.
Yes, I noticed that too when I put it up.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's just a little bit of spasticity or tremoring that he's getting down the leg. Makes it difficult for us to flex. Or it could be that he doesn't want to bend it.
I know, you're okay. You're okay.
Do you like your physio? Hey? It's not so bad.
In the early stages when we were doing the hydrotherapy, I felt his chest while he was walking forward, and it felt very rigid.
Okay.
I can't explain it. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's it was stiff.
Yeah.
And a bit
your hand was down where my laser is.
Yeah. I have my hand there, and I can feel him
Oh, I know
felt like it was creaking inside.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. We call it crepitus, which is just like when a joint, makes a popping noise or a crunching noise or anything like that.
It was more the crunching side.
Yeah, but it felt like it was in multiple different spots, didn't it? Not just one joint.
Actually, I only tested the front leg, and it was continuous.
Yeah, no, I did feel that actually when he first came in. It's just stiffness, right? It's just like when you, like your grandma or grandpa, when they get up from sitting, they're really stiff, and it takes a couple of minutes, and then they get going. That happens to us all as we get older with osteoarthritis. Okay, and then the problem is he's kind of overusing his front end. He's a front-wheel drive dog right now. So that makes it harder on those joints and those muscles. And good job. Good job.
It's okay, Pepper.
Okay. I know. We still have to do your lower body. Oops. Here. You're good. How is his appetite?
With the beef and rice,
he's better.
Yeah, he's really good. But the kidney diet,
not so much.
Yeah, so we put in a syringe, and he will eat it.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't want to eat it, he'll just hold it in his mouth, and that's when we know.
Has your vet said, is it a really, really big deal if he's not eating his kidney food?
They said at this point it's really all about quality of life.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, what's he gonna enjoy to eat?
Yeah.
And we need to keep calories in him, right? Because that's how he will continue to make a little bit of muscle and have energy. So if he's not eating the food, at this point he's probably been on the kidney food for a really long time, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Where you going, Turbo?
Just reintroduce the beef.
Yeah. You're feisty, aren't you?
So reintroducing the beef and the rice, would that help with like the calorie increase and muscle
mass increase? Yeah. Because that's one of the hardest parts about aging is it's harder for us to build muscle mass. So you got to have the building blocks. Yeah. Which are your carbohydrates and your proteins and all that. Yeah. So happy to meet you, Pepper. And do you guys have pet insurance?
No.
Oh, I know, dude. I know. You're okay. Is your patient's done here with the laser? That's really boring. Hi. We're gonna let him take a break because he wants one. All right, let's go for a walk. See your mom. Come here. Come. Good job. Good boy. That crazy haircut, eh?
He hasn't gotten a haircut since July.
Yeah. You're just letting it go along. There, I can even laser him in your lap as long as you're okay.
Yes.
There, dude. Is that your mom? Yeah. Doing really good, bud. How much have you slept through this whole process?
Oh man.
Probably not very good.
Yeah, every 3-4 hours.
To check on him?
Check on him and let him out to go pee and give him some exercise.
Yeah.
Don't want to lay him down too long.
Too long, no, exactly.
It's okay. Okay, you want to stand?
Here, come stand again. I just have to do this right side. Here, I'll let you do ear clips again. Oh, good job, dude. Okay. He is going to be exhausted after this outing.
It's okay, Pepper. Good boy.
Oh, you're going to feel so good. And has he ever had acupuncture?
No.
Have you ever had acupuncture?
No.
No. How do you feel about it?
I'm pretty neutral.
Yeah.
Does it work?
So I have lots and lots of patients that I do. So I don't do acupuncture. I do something called dry needling, which is acupuncture needles, but they don't go in for 20 minutes. They just kind of go in and go out.
Sorry, I don't get it.
So you know how in acupuncture, like people lay on their stomach and they lay there for 20 minutes while the needles stay in?
I see. It's just in and out kind of thing?
Yeah. Mostly the dogs are super fidgety. So it's really up to you. I think let's maybe not do it on this appointment because we're doing so many things, and then we won't know, was it the laser that made him feel better? Was it the massage? And then just go from there and see if at the next time you want to try it. It definitely can help.
I hear mixed reviews about the laser therapy. What are your thoughts on it?
So laser has lots of good research, right? Like when they do, like unbiased systematic reviews, there's good research. But the key with laser is it can't be the only thing. So if you guys came in and I only lasered and then you left, that's not near as good as massage or stretch. Like we've got way better literature behind that. So we always talk about lasers, just an added bonus. Just like yours at home, the hydrotherapy is helping more than your light, probably.
Yes.
Right? But it does not hurt.
The laser?
Yeah. Because laser is light energy, so it draws blood to the tissues. So that's your whole goal, is to get blood to the tissues. And we know exercise gets blood to the tissues the most. Oh my goodness, laser's all done.
Good boy, Pepper.
You did rock solid. Let's see what you do with your hind feet. Oh yeah, good job. I know I've got you. I won't let you fall.
It's okay, Pepper.
So just want to look at his range of motion, because I bet you've noticed that he doesn't really extend his hind legs. Like his hind legs live under his body because his back is roaching. So it's and when I was massaging his hip flexors, they were really tight. So we just kind of stretch them very gently.
Good boy, Pepper.
Good man. Let's do the other side. This one will be harder. I can feel it. He's not going to want to let this go. Roll only as much as we can. It's okay.
After, could I show you the hind leg exercise I've been doing? Maybe I'm injuring him or something.
Right.
Just
Yeah. No, just to check them out. Absolutely. It's always good to make sure the exercises are right. There. Let me stretch it more and more. He's very guarded on this side, but you know he could have some hip arthritis. Could have lots of different things.
It's okay.
When he was young and in his prime, do you ever remember his kneecaps going in and out? Have you ever heard about this in toy poodles?
No, I mean...
Did you ever hop behind?
Overall, he had a good physique.
Yeah. Good conformation.
No issues.
Good job, dude.
He had a very good stance, too.
Yeah.
Ran around a lot, like no issues, really. Only this year, he started
the mobility.
Yeah.
Your pelvis is a little bit misaligned. I bet you that's why you're having trouble with that left.
It's okay, Pepper.
So I'm just going to do a gentle adjustment on his pelvis. He might fidget. We'll see how he does. So I'm just going to slowly increase the pressure.
Now that you mentioned that, so when he went to the groomer, he must have been squirming, so he must have twisted his back.
Oh,
a while
okay.
back, like 2
This is why
years ago.
you do the groomings now.
Yes,
exactly. And so that made his back sore.
Yeah, to the point where we had to give him Dermax.
Oh wow.
So that he calms down and waits for about 2-3 weeks for it to heal.
Okay. So I don't want to do too much here, just because we can make him more sore if I overly adjust it. So I'm just gonna gently see if we can get it aligned. It's a little bit better. It's okay. One more time.
It's okay, Pepper. Good for you. Okay.
Really good.
It's okay. Pepper, it's okay.
It's okay.
Come on.
Okay, let's pop the ear clips off. Take another break.
Good boy.
Oh, good man.
So the exercise, just so it can build on his muscles.
Exactly.
Like resistance training.
Yeah.
I've been holding it back, letting him bring it forward himself.
Yeah. And do you feel like you can't take that left one near as far back, hey?
I can't remember, but I know that one of the legs, he's less resistant to it.
Yeah.
Like he kind of gives up.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. Is that okay?
Yeah, so I would just change your technique a little bit. So I like how your left arm is under him supporting, right? Because I don't want him to fall over because I'm taking away his stability. But I want the arm to do as little as possible. So I'm like barely there. And then I would do this really slowly. So just a little bit slower.
Okay.
And then he brings it forward and back down. Just with, if we do it too fast, we just run the risk of irritating his low back because he bites us.
I see.
So it goes extend, slow, bring it forward, there.
Okay, good boy, Pepper.
And the other one you can do, because I like that one because he's initiating the forward, but another one you can do just to switch it up is, same thing, I'll support him. And I'll just tickle this paw and get him to lift. So we call it a 3-legged stand. And I actually do that, we call it around the world. But I also do this one, which this is going to be really hard for him because his front end is his stability. Oh, my man, good job. So even if he just lifts it for a second.
Okay.
And then I do as little as possible with this hand. Oh, yeah, that one's hard. So he has to weight shift off of it. Oh, that one's hard. So that tells me he puts way more weight through this leg all the time because he's having trouble weight shifting off of it. How about this one? Oh, that one's easy. So the hind feet are much easier to lift, which makes sense. So I might come in here and support his chest, like my hand's under here. There. And see if we can get him to. Oh, weight shift. There you go. There. I know this is hard. This is hard. There, so I just stuck that out until he like mentally accepted it. Because sometimes if we have a dog that's falling over, they also have a fear base in their movement patterns, right? Scared to fall over because it's not fun. So in that safe environment where I have him, I want him to be very confident that I would never let him fall over. So sometimes I just will push through that a little bit. Okay, let's write down your stuff. Alrighty. So what did we do already? We did tail pulls, which he loved. You're going to hold that 30 seconds 3 times a day. And then you're going to do 3-legged stands.
That tickle thing?
And you'll do around the world, so all 4 feet. All 4 feet. And you'll hold them for varying different seconds because some he might be able to hold for 10 seconds, some barely. But we'll just say for now, hold 5 seconds times 5 times. Hi. Hi. And then we did that skin rolling earlier too.
Yes.
Do you want to try that? Yeah, while you're here.
Skin rolling, can I go upwards like that?
Yeah, totally.
So,
yeah.
Like just lifting it up like this? Oh.
Yeah. And he should like it. Like, he should never be like, oh my gosh, I don't love it. He should want it to happen. And same thing, go slow. I feel like everything you do is very fast.
Okay.
Yeah, go really slow. Because then you can feel like, oh, I felt a little twitch there. Or I feel warmth, which is blood. I know.
It's okay.
You're going to. So I say do 3 passes along the spine twice a day. Okay, where are you going? You're gonna trip yourself. This is partially he is his own worst enemy, hey? Like, just ends up going. So 3 passes along spine. Twice a day. So, let me show you the tail pull. I was gonna show you how hard I pull with your wrist. So if I pretend this is his bum, and this is the tail.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I'm tractioning it steady, like you can definitely feel it, but I'm not like reefing on it in different directions, and I'm not gently doing it either.
Okay.
He should tell you how much he likes. You should actually like lean away into it so you get more of a stretch.
So I hold
Yeah.
here?
Yep, exactly, and then take that hand as close as you can to his bum, and then you're just gonna pull there, and see how he just went forward?
Yes.
And then I just hold that very steadily for 30 seconds. He's gonna love it.
Oh.
My goodness. And then he flattens through here. There you go, buddy.
It's okay, Pepper.
Awesome. Okay?
So I pull straight for like
Straight back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no angles or anything like that. So one of the like kind of mind-blowing things that I'm going to get you to do, because it's going to be very hard, it's been a habit, but where his roaches, right, that little curve in his back that's on the x-rays, he's got some degenerative changes there. What I want to do is to change the way we pick him up.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't want him sitting in that slooped position, and we also don't want to pick him up in that slooped position.
Okay.
Right? So it's so tempting with little dogs, and it's no problem when there's nothing wrong. But everybody wants to pick them up, right? Like a little baby.
Yes.
Like that. But then I get that curve in his spine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you're actually going to do is you're going to have to train your husband too. Is you're going to take your hand and you're actually going to in between his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to fully support his hind end.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So there's no pressure or leverage right on that spine. And then I just hold him like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also you can do it this way too. I can go in, but then I just make sure that his butt stays back.
Oh.
That his butt doesn't tuck.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy because you probably have done that for like 17 years.
Yeah.
But it's just really good for his spine health.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about, can I show you how?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, can I pick him up, like pulling his hind leg back?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
going like this?
Yeah, 100%. Because there his spine's totally straight.
Okay.
Any position you can do, as long as you're like, okay, as long as it's not too much like this.
Okay.
And another one that these dogs really love is you just pick them up actually just by the chest.
Yes.
And I just hold them like this against my body. We call it the baby hold. And he, over a couple of minutes of doing this, should just relax his legs and he'll get a little bit of a stretch. Like right now, he's not super into it. This will take some time. I know.
And that's okay for his back and his front legs too?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I've got big surface area, like my hands are really wrapped around his rib cage. But what it's doing is lengthening his spine with gravity. We're using gravity to our advantage.
Okay.
So play with that one. He doesn't love it, right? Like you can see his legs straight out. He's not into letting them relax. But he also might be way better at home. You might do it and be like, oh, he just didn't like because he thinks he's at the vet clinic.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that one we'll try. Oh, so much info, hey?
Yeah, thank you very much for fitting me in.
Yeah,
on
oh,
such
no
short
problem.
notice.
So change the way we pick him up.
Yes. It's okay, Pepper. Good boy.
We're going to do very flat spine.
Hey, get back here.
And we're going to try the baby hold, which is just against your chest.
Okay. The one that you just did?
Yeah, for 2 minutes. And just read that one. Like if you do it 1 or 2 times and he still doesn't love it, drop it. We don't need to do it. It's all about quality of life at this point, right? Like we just want him to enjoy things. Hey. Oh, you're doing so good. Hi. I know. So we'll just let him move around for a second, and then I want to recheck his pelvis and see what other hind end exercises do you guys do? That was your go-to.
So other than that thing,
Yeah.
I also do this.
Yeah.
Like,
Good.
just hold it up.
Yeah.
And then put it down. And then I also pull him back a bit to see how much he
Is putting through his hind end?
Yeah, how much he strains to like resist.
Yes,
I guess.
yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, and you can do that throughout his whole body too. Like how you said, oh, in the water, he's starting to correct himself when he goes to fall over. You can also teach that to him. Like I give him little pushes, and he should push into me, right?
I see. And
like if I were to go and push you, you would resist into me. You wouldn't give in.
Correct.
But that's what his body sometimes does with the falling. So we can just, it's called postural reactions or reflexes that we're kicking in. So I kind of am like unpredictable about it. I do different parts of his body. I make sure he would never fall over, right? Like I never push him that hard. Hi, should we recheck your pelvis?
other hydro exercise we do is make him move side to side.
In the water.
Yes,
Awesome.
so he does
Love
that.
it. Yeah. Anything you can think of in the water will be really beneficial. Because there's that buoyancy,
Yes.
so it offloads his body weight. But then there's also resistance, right? So it's a great way to strength train.
And what's a good water level for?
Good question. So it actually kind of depends on the dog. With him, the lower the water, the harder it's going to be. Because he actually then has to pick his foot up and put it back in the water, right? But the higher it is, he keeps his legs in and there's a little bit more of a swimming effect. So it kind of depends on the day. Because what level have you been doing?
Mostly the chest level.
Chest,
but
good.
then
Yeah.
my husband noticed that he would have to work more if the water was lower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So on a day where you're like, oh, he's actually doing really good. Like, I think he's more alert. He's not falling over. Let's go lower. But then on a day where you're like, oh man, today's a bad day. It's basically like you fill it up so he's almost floating. Yeah. You good? Okay, let's check your pelvis.
Do you guys sell any like floating device for the necks? For the head of the
No,
board?
yeah. Do you find that he has trouble with that?
We made a makeshift one out of styrofoam.
Totally, yeah.
But we were hoping to get like a better quality one.
Yeah, I don't even know. We could ask the girls that do the hydrotherapy here if they know of one. But yeah, I'd go to the dollar store and like grab a pool noodle or something.
Oh,
Like, because a pool noodle has a hole through it, so you could like put a long collar on.
Oh,
You would never want to like choke him.
Right.
But you could get creative. I think your pelvis is good. I'm surprised that it stayed in there.
We just got a flat styrofoam.
Yeah.
Cut a small opening for his
It's like a
neck
little
to slip in.
headrest, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want him so deep that he's doing this with his neck.
Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah.
deep. It's just that sometimes he trips and then his face goes in the water, and
Right.
we're trying to prevent that.
Because any dogs with spondylosis or arthritic changes in their neck, we don't actually put in the pool. Because they have to swim in the pool.
Oh,
We put them in the treadmill where their feet are still touching the ground, but it's a contraindication in the pool because that puts too much torsion on the bottom vertebrae, which we know his bottom vertebrae and the neck aren't ideal.
I see. So we shouldn't do any neck exercises.
Well, in the pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we?
You can do neck exercises out of the pool.
I see.
Because is he allowed treats?
Just specific treats.
Okay.
Yeah. Just.
What do you need? Like pure protein?
No, more like less protein.
Less protein?
Yeah.
I'll show you what we got. We got lots and lots of variety. So these are the Darford. I don't know if you know those ones. This one's pure beef liver, so that one's probably not good, right?
Yes.
That's pure jerky. Let me grab a couple other ones. I just will show you a neck x-ray neck exercise.
It's okay, Pepper. It's okay. Good boy. Good boy. You're so good today. Are you having fun? It's so fun. Okay.
How about cheese treats?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. No treats. He doesn't need treats. No.
Yeah. So then I'll just show you with the exercise. I won't give him a treat.
Just
You don't have anything with you, hey?
No, he has a very sensitive stomach.
For
right
sure,
now.
we don't want any GI. So I won't give this to him, but we'll pretend. Just so you can see. He did. So you could just take a little bit of like his dinner or something, and then you just let him sniff it, and then you get him to follow it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
his neck exercise?
Yeah. So we just call it cookie stretches, and then I would come this way, and I would get him to follow, and then we could come forward, get him to follow, and then go to his chest and get him to follow. So in that time, like pretend I'm him, when I go over here, I have to weight shift my whole body and move my spine. I have to lift my spine. I have to extend my spine. Right? So just kind of getting him to do it in standing. Easy peasy. Dogs love that one. Right? Because there's cookies involved. I know, she'll give you some at home. Okay, so we'll write that one on here. So that one is cookie stretches. So just go to like each shoulder, ceiling, and his chest. And say like, do that 3 times. You can't really overdo that one. You could give him his whole dinner via like little bits of beef, little bits of rice.
Hey, Pepper.
Where are you going? Okay, let's quickly go to the back. We have just a big open space where he won't trip on anything, and I just want to kind of watch him walk for a little while.
Okay.
And we'll put this on him when we get back there. We can leave all of our stuff in here. Do you want to bring the camera?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. We're going for a rodeo. Okay.
3 o'clock is fine.
Oh, it's a big facility.
Yeah, it's awesome. So this is the underwater treadmill. Yeah, and then this is the pool. And then we have this massive room. Yeah, I'll move a couple of things before we let him loose. Why don't you put that on him, and then we'll double check the fit.
Okay, Pepper. It's actually looking pretty good.
I know, it looks so good. So the thing that will happen is he'll be really good tonight. He's gonna be super tired. He might be a little bit sore tomorrow, but that's totally normal. Have you ever had human physio before?
No.
So because we did a little massage on some muscles that are sore, and we did some new exercises, it's good to be sore the next day, but no longer than 24 or 48 hours.
Should we do hydro tonight?
No, definitely not. Just go home and chill. There we go. We can't run into too much. Do you guys have any rugs laid down at your house, like in areas where he falls over?
We put the exercise mats.
Yes.
It's no longer for the kitchen.
Fantastic. Yeah, any areas where there's a high frequency of fall, if you can just make a stickier surface. Here we go. I don't know this one that well.
This could be another word.
This is definitely right. Like the little legs go through there. Oh, there we go. But then these two, do they attach somehow?
I think there was something.
Yeah. So I would, because the downside too is if I pick him up here, see what instantly happens to his spine. So it would be ideal if something was holding that together, because that flattens his spine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Good boy.
If I don't think it's. I think something else. So should I get some?
Just, yeah, very gently, like you don't have to like hinge it down or anything, but just, we don't want to pick up both his body parts at the same time. What my goal is for you guys,
Yes.
because your body is going to be sore from lifting him up for so long. Is you just take a scarf or a belt or something at home that's long. Because you want him to do as much of the walking as possible. And so we'll actually only just put it through his hind. Okay, so now he can't really fall over because I've got him.
Oh, okay.
And then it's nice for your body. You guys can go for a little walk around the backyard. He can pee and poo like this, and you can just support him as much as he needs.
Okay.
Some days you'll feel like you're supporting 2 pounds. Some days you're going to be supporting all of his weight. So you go for a little walk and we'll follow you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Pepper?
Oh, it's okay.
No, this way.
It's okay, we can go that way. There we go. Oh my man. So this literally would be what you do for 20 minutes. Go for a walk at his pace, but you can fully support him. And then ideally the front and the back would, you can cut those off once you feel comfortable with the size. Look at you go. Come on, Pepper. Look at man. Come on. Come on. So sometimes we'll just play games where we do the treat game, where you just kind of put his food all over and he goes and finds it. It's an initiation to go walking.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, he's doing really good.
Is he doing so good?
It's probably the best.
He's been in a couple of weeks. That's awesome. I'm so happy.
amazing.
Look at him go. Look at him go. You're so fast.
Good boy, Pepper.
So there's the little stumble steps, right? But he had a reflex to catch himself. You want to try?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just take a belt or a scarf and then chop. So don't lift too much because you see that you saw that lift up. You want to do as little as possible. So you stand normal. Yeah, there you go. Just like that. So of course if you were to fall, you can grab him. But other than that, do it as low as possible. Sometimes in our effort to help, we actually hinder. That's how we got the cone extract. There you go, dude. Because I love how his hind legs are moving there. That's how he's going to stay strong. Good job.
So at home, I should connect these two together?
You know what? I don't actually mind them how we had them just now. You could try it, but the biggest thing that you'll see is I just don't want that roundening in between them. So I'll show you what ours look like at the front and you'll know what I mean. They just clip together. You can just put like
Oh shit.
literally shitting?
Yeah.
That's okay. We've got poop bags. But see how nice this is? You don't have to bend over. You can let him walk and poop and then pick it up after.
Sorry, I'll come back.
Oh God, don't worry. Don't worry at all. Dogs, no, please, focus on me. Our dogs pee and poo here all the time. Definitely not first.
There we go.
With this new way of walking him, you hope that he actually will poo like more and poo normally, not that it's just like little dribbles.
Yeah, he walks and poops at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, I'll bring the phone and we'll walk back to, is this the most walking he's done in a while?
No.
Okay.
Well, by himself, then yes.
Right, okay. I just don't want to make him tired with our walking, so why don't we'll pick him up and then we'll take him back to the room. Because it's that fine balance when they get feeling better, they'll actually overdo it and make themselves more sore. So you're gonna have to be his regulator.
Good boy.
That was so good, Piper. Piper. Pepper. That's your other nickname, Piper. So I'll show you. So this is the front and this is the hind, and then they just clip together with something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to keep it flat. Easy peasy. You can just recreate that.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty. I'm just gonna stop there.